Hello, I'm Terry Blessing. We're here in Armstrong's R&D area. We've mounted a ShapeUp diamond wheel dresser on a 1956 vintage factory rebuilt grinder, and we're going to show you how it works. We're going to demonstrate how to set the tool up for different wheel thicknesses as we go through this procedure, and we'll actually dress a wheel for you. Now we've pre-dressed the wheel using a wheel type dresser, and we've pre-dressed the wheel to the established shape that we want on the wheel. By doing that, we're not going to dress with the diamond to start out with, because that'll wear the diamond too soon. So we don't want to do that. We want to be sure that we shape the wheel first. After we've got the wheel shape put in, then we're going to take and move the diamond in and out. Move the diamond in and out. You're going to need an Allen wrench set in this case. You've got a lock there. You've got another lock on the back side, a lock screw back here. This was what you use to push the screw in or a stop as you move it back in position. Once you've got it located where you want it, then you can lock it down and you're going to leave it there. What that does is, by moving the diamond back, that will give you a wider radius for larger wheels or a flatter wheel, and that's what you're doing when you move the diamond back and forth. To get the shape of the wheel that you want a rounder shape like this, you've got a wide radius, then you're going to come up to this axis, loosen up the lock there. You're going to move this adjustment here so that you're taking and you're actually traversing back and forth here, and that will put your radius off to one side of the wheel or back on the other side, depending on if you want your wheel as full or not. Now you can hear, when I move that across, you can hear the diamond actually following the shape that I have on here, where I've already shaped it, I've already adjusted it, so you can hear that. That's how we've shaped that. We've just run that up, trace it back and forth across. We'll actually leave a little bit of a scribe line that's probably hard to pick up on the camera, where you can see that you're following the shape there. And what we're going to do next is we're going to power the machine up, we're going to shape this wheel and see if we're getting the shape that we desire. If not, we may fine-tune it by moving the top of the tool one way or the other. We've got the graduation marks here to keep track of where we're at. After we've got that shape down, then we'll lock down this portion of the tool good and snug so it's not very easily moved, and then we'll have the shape that we want. After we get done dressing at that point in time, then we'd use a star type dresser to open the wheel up. So we've powered up the grinder. The grinding wheel that we have on the grinder right now is a 1-inch vitrified ceramic wheel. We're going to take and check the shape that we've got now by running the dresser across. May need to fine tune it, I'm not sure, so we'll do that at that time. You're going to run this across. You want to run it across in a nice smooth motion. Nice light pass there, so let's move it in a little bit. I'm really not dressing on this edge as much as I want. The wheel seems to be, dresser seems to be set up. I'm following, I'm tracing it across. It looks like I need to move it this way just a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back off of it. Park it over here so you can see. Loosen up my set. I'm going to move the top of the dresser towards the wheel. I'll take more off of this side of the wheel and a little less on the other. Watch the graduation. There's little graduations up here, a little hard to pick up on camera, but they're there. Take much of a movement to make quite a change. Let's see what we've got. You can hear that we're dressing on this side of the wheel now where we weren't before. Of course, we'll have to sneak up. A 1/2 thousandths cut. The diamond is really considered to be a quite heavy cuts. So what you're hearing, what I'm taking off, is a small amount. And that's what you need to do. You start taking off too much, and the diamond will dull too fast and want to dig into the wheel. And of course the light passes are also all you need to get the wheel shaped through the way you want it. It seems to be following that across there. Anyway, I'm satisfied with where it's at, so I'm going to back off and run this back over, lock it in place. Then you use your star type dresser. These happen to be a BCA 4. They're real fine stars. Help keep your wheel true. Help chatter a lot to get your wheel out of round, and that's one of the reasons you're going with a diamond dresser, to have your wheel nice and true. Lightly run those across. You're going to hold it at a little bit of an angle as you dress across there. It's about all it takes to really open that wheel up. After you've done that, you're ready to grind your saw. I'm going to shut the grinder off. I'm going to replace this wheel with a 3/4 inch wheel that's a resinoid ceramic wheel with a totally different shape. And then we'll go through the procedure of moving the diamond, moving the tool back and forth to be able to accomplish that shape, and we'll dress that wheel also. Alright, we've mounted on the 3/4 inch resinoid ceramic grinding wheel on. And you can see that there's a considerable amount of difference in the wheel shape. Now I'm going to pan this around. We haven't moved the tool, and you'll be able to see the difference that there is in the adjustment that we're going to have to change. You'll be able to see how far we are away here, the difference in the tool, the width. That's from the 1-inch wheel to a 3/4 inch wheel, as well as the shape of the wheel. This wheel is dressed so that it's longer on the edge of the hook line, so it actually makes your hook line longer than the other wheel that we had on here would have anyway. So we're going to make that adjustment. We're going to show you how to do that now. To accomplish this shape, what I've had to do is I've loosened up the set screw. I've taken my adjustment screw on the back side, used the Allen wrench, and I've turned that in as I've swept the tool back and forth. So I've actually moved the diamond out. You can see here I've still got it loose. So I've actually moved the diamond out so it makes a smaller radius. I've taken the top of the tool, I've loosened up the set screw here. I've had to adjust it this way a considerable amount to be able to follow that shape. You might not be able, I'll move it in a little bit more so you can hear that drag across that shape. And you may be able to see the scribe mark here as it traversed across. So that should be fairly close to where I want to be. Now remember, if you move the diamond in, that's going to give you a smaller radius, and then you're just going to have to move it one way or the other to get your offset and follow that. You're doing both at the same time as you go. It's really not that difficult. It took me about 3-4 minutes to set that up. Once you've set it up, that's when you're just going to lock it in and leave it. So it's not that time consuming. We'll just lock this down and power the machine up, and we'll try this shape out. Alright, we powered back up the grinder again. I'm going to run the dresser across the wheel. Run in a nice smooth motion. Like I got pretty lucky there and was able to shape that pretty close all the way across. Close enough to satisfy me at the moment without grinding the saw, and seeing that I was able to produce the shape that I wanted. After I dressed the wheel, so there again, I'm going to use the star dresser. It's a resinoid ceramic wheel. You still have to use your star dresser to open it up so that you're not going to burn your saw when you're grinding. It smooths up the wheel considerably. Besides truing the wheel, it also smooths it up. So a 60 grit wheel is this, what we use normally would use on our wet grinder. You try dry grinding with it, probably pick up some burn if you don't use the star dresser. It'd be about all that would be required with a 60 grit wheel on a dry grinder. You're not going to be able to grind very aggressively. The wheels that we recommend at Armstrong, put on our machines when they go out the door, are Pacific Resinoid ceramic wheels. There again, the 60 grit on the wet grinders. Normally the 36.2 grit, coarser grit, goes on the dry grinder. They seem to work very well for us, and we're real pleased. One of the advantages of diamond dressing is the fact that you've trued the wheel. It's now true and in round. As many of you know, you dress by hand, you're never able to grind with the complete surface of the wheel. This enables you to grind with the complete surface. You're going to get a smoother grind. Also with diamond dressing, you're going to take off a small amount. I've mentioned a couple of times, about a half a thousandth per pass. So your wheels are going to last longer. A lot of these newer style wheels, the ceramic wheels, are more expensive than they used to be. It's important that we try to get as much use out of these wheels as we possibly can. And by not dressing them away is a real advantage to the filing room cost, sawmill cost. Same thing, you've got a good true wheel. Everybody's dressing the wheel the same. When you put it down in, you're not going to be fighting back and forth on wheel shape. Your saws are going to last longer. It's going to help you by gumming your gullet the same every time. You're less prone to have cracks in your saws. And all that's beneficial to your operation. We're going to go through the installation of the ShapeUp wheel dresser on the dry Armstrong grinders, being the number 4 grinder and the number 6 grinder. To save a little time, you can see we've already removed the old wheel guard. We've already removed the grinding wheel. After you've done that, you want to take time to check out the bearings, make sure the bearings are in good condition at this time. You also want to check out the belt, make sure the belt is in good condition, or put a new one on if it's not cracked and creating any vibration. Check out the pulley on the front as well as in the back of the machine. The variable speed pulley can create quite a bit of vibration and belt slippage. We're also going to check the runout here on the front of the front wheel collar, and we're going to do that with a dial indicator now and set that on. It seems to work best if you put it on this face to try to rotate it rather than trying to set it someplace else on the machine, because you'll pick up some undue vibration along that. Just adjust it around to 0. Turn the collar around. Make sure that it's true. If it's not true, you'll probably need to replace it. You want to try to keep it, the run out, within 3/1000. Make sure that your wheel isn't wobbling back and forth. We've installed the ShapeUp wheel guard that comes with the ShapeUp. We've also taken out the bolt that came out of the bearing housing, replaced it with the standoff adapter. The standoff adapter fits on the bearing, and then we've got this brace. And the brace fits up like this. Put in the other bolt here. Just run these up finger tight for now. Take that other bolt, this 3/8 bolt here. Put it in, start that. When we tighten this up, it's going to tie all this together. It makes a good box angle to make the support of the wheel guard really good and rigid. Now that we have our guard firmly attached, all of our inside bolts are tightened up. We've attached the ShapeUp itself. There's 4 bolts on the inside. We've brought them down snug, not completely tight, because we're going to have to adjust the ShapeUp back or forth when we sweep that. Sweep it, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the magnetic base, the upper portion of the ShapeUp here, taking care that we clear our dovetail area as the dial indicator sweeps across. You see the dial indicator is located on the face of the wheel collet. So as we adjust the screw across, that'll traverse across the face of the wheel collet and tell us if we're in line. We want to be sure that this is in line within 2/1000 from one edge to the other edge of the wheel collet, so the diamond travels true when you're shaping your wheel as your wheel wears out. Got the shape up already secure, tightened everything down. We've put our wheel back on. The wheel that we use at Armstrong and recommend supply with our grinders is a Pacific resinoid ceramic wheel. This is a 36.2 grit that we put on the dry grinders. We've pre-shaped the wheel with a wheel type dresser. You can use a brick type if you prefer that. The wheel dresser will give you a little smoother, truer finish to start out with, and that will enable you to dress your wheel without getting undue wear on the diamond point itself. It's very important to pre-shape the wheel before you try dressing it with a diamond dresser. To follow this shape, after you've already shaped the wheel, what you want to do is follow the written instructions, and it'll tell you how to adjust the diamond in relationship to the wheel. So at this point we're ready to shape this wheel. Get power to it here, and off it goes. It's important when you travel across that you don't just rip the diamond across the face of the wheel. You want to have a nice, steady, smooth motion across the wheel. If you go too fast, you'll have a tendency maybe to dig in, or it'll leave like a spiral effect across the face of the wheel. So we're going to sneak up on this. About 1/2 thousandths is all you want to take off the wheel at any one given time. More than that is damaging to the diamond. That would be a pretty good cut. Come back and screw it in. You can see we've already shaped clear across the wheel. With that, we can just back it off a little bit, park our dresser off to the side, put down our pin to secure it so it stays into place. This time, if you're going to rough grind in, make your first passes, you're going to want to use a star type dresser to open your wheel back up so that it's sharp. If you try grinding now, after you've done this, you've smoothed the wheel up considerably, and the wheel could burn. If you want to have a good smooth finish, like on your final pass, it'd be just fine to go ahead and do this, just lightly grind.